Welcome, everyone.
We're just never going to get that right, huh?
We're not. No.
Oh, my gosh.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome back to
Chasing
And
Aligned. Woo!
You guys, we are out live. Go check out our other episodes if you haven't already.
Yes, we are on YouTube. We are on Spotify, TikTok, Instagram.
Everywhere.
Check us out. I think at this point we're gonna have already three episodes up. So go on, give it a like, give it a share.
And join us.
Enter our conversation too. Like, we really want to interact with you guys who are listening. And so comment, let us know how you feel about our opinions.
Yes.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah.
I think about it. I'm like, my opinion as a 21-year-old is out there, knowing that it's going to change because we're consistently progressing. Like, I'm consistently learning.
yes, of course.
Isn't that kind of daunting? Are you scared of that, Lel?
No.
No?
Look, it's an opinion and it's not bound to change, but you don't have to like die on the hill you're on. Sometimes you might actually be like maybe mistaken on something or you didn't have the full facts.
Yeah.
Or I think even as we continue to grow and like go through more experiences, things we learn from each other and like all that stuff, your mind shifts. So yeah, I mean, we're not like the most educated things like people in the world.
Things.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna have
things.
a conversation, brothers and sisters.
Hey, but okay, hold on,
we're
though.
recording it.
Look at our merch, y'all. Hermanos Conversaciones.
Uh-huh.
You just read that backwards.
Convos con hermanos. Conversations with siblings.
And then check out the back. You want to? Let's check out the back.
Who's standing up? You?
You got
I
it.
will. Do I have to stand? I think I'm too tall.
Volunteer as tribute.
I'm too tall, though.
Just turn your back around.
Okay. Can you?
Look,
Yeah.
Fire.
In a line.
Ooh, that's our logo.
That's our logo. I mean, if you really want a hoodie, let us know.
Shout out to our uncle. He does these
To our
things.
Tio Jorge, thank you so much.
Gracias,
we
tío.
love you for this. Yeah, I mean, if anyone is interested in making their own merch, email us.
Yeah, can we talk about our family is so talented.
We really
are
are.
all very like creative in many ways, right?
Yeah,
we have like literally all our cousins like acting, singing, pottery,
Musicians,
Clay, radio host. Our uncle, he's doing this podcast
We're
with his
blessed.
wife.
We love him too.
We are so blessed, and in the entertainment world, being in LA, there's so much privilege that we have. So shout out to them too.
Shout out to the familia. We just love everyone. Mom, Dad, Sebas, we miss you, bro.
Yes.
Anyway, I just came out. We're just shouting.
I know. We're just like appreciating the world right now. No, we do love our family very much.
So, what are we talking about today?
What's the topic of the day?
You guys, we're going to be talking about spicy stuff. All right. So stay tuned if you want to dive in and learn more about our dating life. Dating? Like, when is it good to date? How is it good to date? Or
And
how
who.
and who? Yeah, and who, you know? So
Wow.
interesting. Who wants to kick us off?
Man, when to date? I think we're gonna touch on that first because it
Let's
just
do
makes sense. Like, as a single person, if you're single watching this right now and you're questioning, is there a timeline of when I should date?
I think, and you know, it's what's fun.
I feel like the three of us might have different opinions, so it's definitely gonna be interesting to see.
100%.
Yeah. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
When should you date?
When should you date? You guys, I don't know. I'm being real honest. Like, I'm being like super honest. I don't know. And I'm going to go off of this perspective in my experiences. I've never planned a time on when I'm going to date. Like,
So just like came to you.
I mean,
because
I'm kidding. No, it comes to
what?
Bro.
She seeked it out.
No, look, I never seeked that like to date someone though. Like that's what I'm talking about. Everybody has different experiences. Like I have friends who, you know, are on like dating apps, or like people who have a time, or like, oh no, I'm gonna, you know, go out there and like find that time to date. For me, it was never like that. Like I never.
It was natural.
It was natural. It came naturally. So for me, it's
she is a beautiful woman, so it makes sense why she has a line of people.
No, that's not. No, girl.
So
no, no, I didn't mean it like
it's not that hard for her.
No, everyone's beautiful. Girl, come on. No, I just got really blessed, and like I got really blessed that the man of my dreams and who I'm with now aligned in my path. So I think for me,
so
like when
no time for you.
But you definitely went through it.
No, yeah, of course. Like I definitely went through it, and I guess staying in the topic of like when. For me, there's just no time. I don't think there's a time on when to actually
Is someone too young to get into the dating world? Like when should be the start?
Well,
what age? If you're gonna put an age on it.
How about let's like define dating, right? Like are we on the common ground of dating is like spending time getting to know like another person, like actually being, because it's like, I don't know, because you can be like super young and like it'll be like that dumb like phase of like, oh, not dumb, but like in that phase of, oh, we're dating, like he's my girlfriend, my boyfriend, but like, is it really? Like you're young, you're like in middle school, what or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it? So how do we really like define like dating? Because then it'll go into like how young, you know, you should be dating. Like it's weird. I don't know.
I am an RA at APU, so I oversee.
What is an RA?
I'm a resident advisor, so I oversee a hall with 28 girls, and so they're freshmen, right, straight out of high school.
Fresh blood.
Freshmen straight out of high school. I'm a junior, so you know they look up to me. Oh, I am a junior. I know.
Stop. I thought you were a sophomore.
Stop. Cassie. I'm going to be a senior next year.
Stop growing up.
Okay, but anyways, they look up to me as like, oh, you've been through 2 years of college already. Like, I think I could ask you for advice and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a privilege. Like, if they need help or if they're walking through some heartbreak or whatever it looks like coming out of high school, I'll be there for them. I'll give them the advice that they need. But anyways, one of my residents, she has never dated anyone before. Mm-hmm. And her parents were like, you're not dating until you're out of high school.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Define dating. Like, what do you mean by dating?
Listen.
Okay.
They protected her heart. The parents said, you are not dating. You are not dating.
But what does dating mean, though?
But that's what I mean. They took dating so serious. It wasn't just like a la 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 la, go talk to a boy, and da 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 da.
Okay.
Right? And in our like culture, it's like, oh, until you're 15, maybe people are like, okay, now you're able to talk to guys in a romantic way. Because now you're 15. You are entering adulthood.
So is dating just one-on-one between you and the opposite sex or with the guy in a romantic way? Is that dating?
Is that like what we mean?
Yeah. Okay. I don't think you're dating a friend.
Definitely
I mean, I don't know. Some people can consider that dating. It's weird. It's just we just need to be on like a standard ground.
It's feeling.
I think dating is that.
Okay.
You and another person decide to get to know each other with a romantic intent.
Okay.
Because you guys want to form some kind of relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously now there's not really any value to dating, right?
It's more loose.
It's more loose. The whole idea of marriage is kind of gone now. Like a lot of people are not getting married right now. I think the rate has dropped drastically, right?
Yes.
People are waiting till they're like late 30s, early 40s.
All right. So, but hold on. For you, Cassie, so when for you? Yuli said it was natural. Like she didn't really ever put a time to it.
Yeah.
So
like
your opinion, what do you think?
If I was a parent and I was talking to my children, I'll give them till the day they're able to drive. The day they're able to drive is the day that they can date with intention. When I say that is, hey girl, you're not going to just date because you like this person, right? You're not going off feeling. You're going off purpose. Okay? Like, what does this person bring to your life? Why do you want to partner up with this person? What is your intention? Right? It's dating with intention. When they're able to drive, I'll be more open to it.
So before that, then what would you call it? Just like having a special friend, or like?
I will say special friend, but even then, I would advise them not to date.
Okay. So just not talk to a guy in that way.
That reminds me of mom. She's like, oh, you're a special friend.
Right, because mom knows, like,
say,
it's not going to go anywhere.
It's your special friend.
She entertained your guys' little boyfriends, your little...
It's because there should be boundaries. I think when you're so young, you're just very feeling based, and it can cross so much boundaries, and you're hurting your heart in so many ways that you don't even know. And it's just so damaging. And so I would definitely be more of a protective mother.
Okay.
You know what though? Yeah, I think it's also just like who you are as a person and a mother. Yeah, like how you raise your kids and like how you shape them in that way.
Right.
You know.
And talking to my resident, going back to that, she is like beyond grateful. She's like my parents were.
She was grateful that she waited.
She was like, my parents are strict, but I was so saved by so much heartbreak because I was so young.
But you know what? This is where I'm coming in. I don't want to be a buzzkill, but there's a lot of those girls who, yes, they were raised that way, and like, yes, their heart were protective, but they also have some kind of fantasy, or not really fantasy, but like blinded of like, oh, I'm gonna find the right person. I'm gonna find the perfect man. I'm gonna find someone who is up to my standards and all of my standards. I'm gonna find someone who won't hurt my heart. I'm gonna find...
They have a false reality to dating
because they've never experienced that. But you know, it's not, I mean, it's safe to say they can experience that when they're older, and they kind of, you know, mentally can understand why they feel that way. But it's also really hard for those people to, when to date, like when are they really going to find that person? Because they get very fearful in that stage, and then they stay in that for a very long time.
I just take singleness really, really, really serious. I think singleness is a privilege. There is so much.
For some people, they'll be like, privilege? I wish I was with someone.
Yeah. And right now I'm leading high school, and I tell them like, y'all, you need to know yourself. Figure yourself out. Okay. Really
but when
take
you were
advantage.
In high school, did you think like that?
No, but that's my advice to them, you know?
Yeah,
and some people, like my resident, is going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm so grateful for this. And others are going to be like, oh, I just want to experience.
Yeah.
Natural driving age, me. When should people start dating? So I see, when I talk about dating, when I look at dating, it's specifically to get to marriage. So dating is for marriage. So... for me is when you're ready to commit to someone for life, and you're going to be able to be responsible for them, and to be able to like live or make a life with someone else. So I would say if you're someone that's like going to college or university, like when you finish your degree, and or if you're someone that's not going that route, like you have a business or something, once you have something established with yourself, like you're somewhat independent, or not somewhat, when you're independent, or when you feel like you're ready to even like start a family, I feel like that's when you should go out and start looking for people to commit to. Because I see dating as just being romantic with someone, like one-on-one with someone, and getting to know them to see if marriage is something that's going to work out.
Yeah. And I think like with you being a man, you know, do you think like you have to perhaps get there before you really seek that relationship? Because you're like seeking, right?
Yeah, like I don't want to be like super strict with it either, because like, like I can't control if like when I'm going to meet a girl that like I really like, and be like, oh, I don't have myself ready, or I don't have this and this, so like I don't want to date her yet. But my view is like very anti-cultural, because our culture is like, it doesn't matter if you don't have any of that. Like dating is just for like sometimes pleasure, or for just having a good time, or just because it's fun. And I don't see it like as a game.
Yeah.
It's not a game for me. It's something serious, and it's something that is supposed to lead to lifelong
Commitment.
union with someone, relationship. So so I would have to have that discipline and that willpower to say no, even though like I really find her attractive, or she's like someone that I want to talk to and have that, and I want her. If I'm not in a good place, or if I'm not ready to potentially provide and to be that husband, then I'm not going to do it. And obviously, like, that leads to the question, like, how long should dating be, I guess? Because like, how long is it going to take for me to get to that position where I want to be? It might take a long time. And at that point, is it too late? Right. So I feel like when you're in the process and you're like almost there, or you have something that's going to help you to be able to start dating, then you can do it. Like, you don't have to have for sure like set degree and set career. You could be in progress to that and have something else that's going to help you and start dating, but definitely at least have a plan, not just have nothing set.
So you're talking right now that you need a date with the mentality of being a husband, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to seek out someone who has the mentality of being a wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's going to have to match.
Because you can't be like, oh my gosh, I don't have my life together. I really need to work on myself. I don't even know what I want in life, but I want to be dating because everyone else is dating. So, hey, let me find this really good girl, make sure she has all the things I want, but I'm not at her level, right? So then it's like, okay,
That'll be bound to fail.
yeah, it's gonna be really hard. Vice versa, like if I am not this high and mighty person, and I'm like seeking out someone who is all these things, it's just very hypocritical, and it's like, okay, don't be waiting for so long because there is not this perfect person, but also don't just waste your years like waiting to be in this dating season.
True. Yeah.
Don't waste your singleness to be in the dating, right? Or don't put yourself in a dating mindset when you're single. Like it's really hard because our brains like categorize seasons in life. As Christians, we're always like, oh, you're going through a dating season right now. You're going through a marriage season right now. Huh? Like, we put boxes and things, and it's like, no, you are a person who's figuring out how to love yourself. Vice versa, that's how you're able to love another person. And you are called to be a daughter of Christ, a son of Christ. And what that looks like is being a good husband and being a good wife. You're sanctifying yourself. You're being this person, and that is just gonna fall into place.
And like, I'm not dumb. Like, I know in the culture today, like, it's not gonna be easy to find a girl that like shares my mindset, probably, because like you said, marriage is on a decline. And then even just like religious values, which is why important. Like, obviously I'm not going to be looking or talking to a girl that's not, Christian as well, and like share some of my beliefs, because it's never going to work. They don't see marriage as like a path to, or dating as a path to marriage. They see it as like, oh, just like have a good time. You're attracted and you just want to get to know them. And then something happens, it happens, something not. So it's like more casual.
It's loose.
It's more loose.
So, but then I have a question. Like, so my mind is wrapped. I want everyone to kind of like have this clear, because then I guess I'm picking it up from a different perspective. So, when you're like dating someone, you want to be like committed to this person. Like, you want to be married, right? You eventually, that's the end goal. That's the goal.
That's the end goal. Yeah.
But how do you really know that?
You can't know, right?
So, but this is what I'm saying. It's like we can say that you want to start off a friendship. Like, you want to be good friends. You want to get to know that person that people so-called dating, but you see it more of like a friendship. Like I'm getting to know you as a friend, see if we have like similar values, see who you are as a person. And then if I truly really just want to commit with you in that way and want to explore you more intimately, not like in a friend way, but a little bit more intimately, like, you know, not like physical stuff, I mean more like on a deeper level, then are you like choosing to, okay, now I'm going to date you to then eventually lead to marriage? Is that like your perspective? Because like you're not gonna just, what do you mean, like you're just gonna meet someone out of nowhere and you're gonna be like, yeah, I know you're the one for me? Like,
no,
you know
yeah,
I mean?
you're right. Maybe I like should clarify. I feel like dating for me is like you're in a relationship. Maybe that's why it's different.
Because then other people are like, I'm just dating.
So maybe like
confusing.
talking, like you can do talking, like you can talk to someone because you need to get to know them, to know if they're worthy to date or if dating's gonna work. So like when so for talking, yeah, like I have to talk to a girl to get to know her, to see if like dating will be something that works. So I guess for me, I see dating like forming a relationship and getting into a relationship. That's dating for me.
Okay, because other people.
So there's got to be a talking stage first.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't just. Yeah, you're right. I can't just automatically know if the girl is gonna be like she's like the wife that I want, without getting to know her.
Y'all, okay, but there's some crazy stories of people being like, oh, I saw her and I just knew she was my wife.
Yeah, there's
God just told me.
love at first sight.
And they get married and they actually do stay together for a very long time. I know a lot of Christians where that's their story, right? And I also know Christians who are like, oh, I've known them since I was like 5 and we're best friends, but it just slowly progressed. I was like, wait, no, this is someone who I would want to link up with.
I think like also like Candace Owens, I don't know if anyone knows her, but like her and her husband, like they met like super quickly. It happened so fast, like within a week, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, it exists for sure.
Yeah, there's so much different timelines.
Yeah, because when you're at a level, like you're more mature, you're already like established. You don't have like, why do you need to waste time talking for like half a year or a year? You know what you want. He knows what he wants. All right.
Yeah, if y'all have that level of commitment.
But then I'm still struggling to think like, yes, there's a talking stage, like that talking stage, it be then dating then. Because then I can sit here with you, like pretend I'm another, whatever.
Okay.
I'm here sitting with you and I'm like, yeah, Leo, I believe in everything that you believe in.
Okay.
We align perfectly.
All right.
And I am willing to, you know, like start this like relationship, like date with you, like really commit with you. And you're like, okay, cool. Yeah, me too. I guess we get along well. And then you start dating. But like maybe in the midst of that dating, do you start with the mentality of like, yeah, I'm gonna want to get to marry this person. You're a good person. But in the middle of it, you're like, oh, actually, you're not who you said you were.
Let's be,
you know,
let's be
I don't
for
know.
real.
Like, I feel like there should be, in my opinion, like you should get to know this person as like a friend level, like a talking stage level, like talk to them as like a friend, like not really in that romantic state, because I don't know,
then,
it's hard.
honestly, look, if you know that if you're leading someone on and you know that you don't want to marry them, but you like the feeling and the talking and you're so pretty.
That's tough.
That's
what
sad.
are you doing?
That's sad.
Immediately, you're not dating for marriage. You're not, because you're leading someone on.
Attention, or just you want to get something out of it.
Yeah, so
you like going out.
The minute you're like talking to someone, you're like, you know what, I really have feelings for you. Especially with guys, there's something so powerful when a guy's very direct and he knows what he wants and he knows it's you and he knows it's marriage.
No, I'm gonna be super intentional. I'll be like, hey, look, if I ask you to be my girlfriend, it's because I want to get to marriage. Like I want to marry you. So this time as boyfriend and girlfriend is to know each other more and to learn about each other more, and then get to that final
And also, I feel like there should not be pressure when it comes to dating. Because I feel like in the Christian world, there is so much pressure. Like once you're locked in with someone, it's
yeah, don't feel like you have to commit. You can
Yeah.
back out.
You could back out.
If the person, like you said, the person doesn't turn out to be who you thought they were, like they put up a good front, they said all the right things, but over time, they start to change. You're not
Yeah.
locked in.
Or it just like you can be compatible for 2 months and then you're not.
Yeah. Or even you can be with him for a long time and maybe your paths just don't align or you guys just can't agree on things. Like, I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many, it's so unique.
So-
every situation.
So we talked about
Yeah.
when.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, I don't even know when for both of you. Like you, okay, as a mother, but like, okay, I guess like I didn't really go off of my answer of being a mother. Like, you know what I mean? And then also with you, it's like, yeah, when I guess, yeah, you said like when you know, for you, it's like when you
have
get
a
yourself
plan,
together.
when
like,
you
have a
wanna-
plan, you have a goal. Like,
When you know marriage is coming soon.
yeah. So like a little bit like older, I guess. But okay, I guess.
I guess it's rough.
I guess that's when. I don't know, guys.
I guess it's tough.
journey.
Now in today's society, in this generation, you really just got to make sure you're right with yourself before you decide to lock in with someone.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to end up damaging the person if you're not good with yourself, if you're not complete, right? And we talk about it in our love episode. Shout out to episode 2. It's all about love. But it's kind of that of like, you are complete with God and yourself. You got to really find that.
Who should you date?
Casi.
Who?
Yeah.
Y'all, my standards are to the roof. I have really high standards, so
Tough.
and I'm really strict with it
So
too.
to all those guys watching,
Sorry,
That's a
guys.
rip
You
in
gotta
the
meet.
chest.
You gotta meet her checklist.
But it's stop. No, it's something that I'm learning right now, like being so transparent with everyone. I am learning what it looks like to love someone unconditionally. And what it looks like to actually be under covenant as one. Like marriage is such a sacred thing. And so when you decide to partner up with someone or date with that intention, you can't be playing around. And the thing is, like, I know what happened.
It was a cells. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
nothing happened.
Did she just fart?
No,
No.
I burped.
Oh,
I burped, everyone. I'm sorry.
I didn't even think they heard it,
I
but
did
your
not
reaction.
hear that.
It came out. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, yeah, keep going. You're on fire. I like it.
no, but for real,
So you have high standards.
High
for real, I'm
standards,
just
like how that
built.
looks
I'm
like.
just built different. Like I just have my mindset is just beyond, honestly.
No, but
so,
you know, it's powerful though. Like, and it's a good example, and for everyone watching too, though, because it's, yeah, marriage is sacred. It is a big thing, and it is something you hold, like, you know, seriously, like very serious, and it should be. It's literally like you become one, right?
So-
if we really get into that, but
So you
it's
should date
for sure.
someone who has shared interests, shared
Yep.
faith, shared values, and shared goals. At the end of the day.
okay, do you have to date someone who's exactly like you? Like how similar
No.
do you
No.
have to be?
No. Look, no one is gonna agree with you 100% on everything, and there's always gonna be ups and downs, and maybe even little arguments because no one's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to date a copy of yourself. That's like the beauty of like being unique, being individual.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to get to know someone and everything about them. You don't want them to be like a carbon copy of you, obviously, because there's no personality in that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it can be a 180, completely different. Doesn't like the things
Yeah.
you like,
Mhm.
doesn't believe the things you believe, doesn't have the same goals as you.
Doesn't make
same
you a better
drive.
person.
Yeah.
Doesn't be someone who doesn't help you, you know? It's like so much. But honestly, I will say though that I'm leaning more towards they should definitely have similar
Interest.
interests. Yeah. Because that's like a huge thing, you know? It's like the little things might not be like crazy big, but when you're really in a relationship, those little things very much come through and you're like, wow. And that's when you really think about it. It could be the smallest thing ever. Like,
Yeah,
things that make you happy.
obviously we're not married, but speaking to married couples, when you are in marriage, you are technically still dating the person. You are relearning this person that's growing with you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, what do you like? You like to golf? okay, I don't really like to golf that much, but I'm going to, I don't know, come see your games once in a while. Like, you're still gonna try to share similar
Well, that's called like
interests.
compromising, right? Like if you like golf, give it a shot. You know, like give it a shot. You might hate it, right? Like you might
Yeah,
hate it,
like
but it's
something like that's like
showing-
not a deal breaker,
like
though, right? Like it's not
compromising.
something that.
No, but you have to be willing to share
Yeah.
Yes,
interests.
yes.
Like let's say, I don't know, my partner doesn't like cooking. I would kind of get thrown off. Like,
Yeah,
just
I mean
cook
those
with
things
me.
matter, right?
Just cook with me. Like, have fun. Like, yeah, you have to be very open. You have to share some
Yeah,
type
but
of ground.
so like it's one thing like if your partner doesn't like cooking, but like what if your partner's an atheist?
yeah.
Yeah,
Is that gonna work for
Probably not.
Yeah.
you? Or
For sure.
your partner believes like, hey, like should it be like, why does it have to be just me and you? Like let's add another person.
Oh, that's like a thing now, right?
So
it's like
like,
it's called
so, yeah, like-
It's open.
something-
yeah, so
open
our dating
relationship.
view is like
Oh.
very traditional and very Christian.
Mhm.
So compared to like the world's dating view,
it's very
it's
different.
gonna seem like, oh, definitely not at all. Like you don't have to have like all those things. Dating is just like for fun, something casual,
Mhm.
and it's not that deep of a meaning. Like, oh, it's not that deep. Like
It's not
damn,
that deep. Like, I'll just get to know
like
you.
This, like
Yeah.
you guys don't even have to like agree on stuff. You're just there for a time.
Yeah.
And so that leads to the other like shared interest. I think is important with some people that like don't like talking about. I think even like politics or politically,
Mhm.
you have to agree with the person.
Yeah. Because then it'll be rough. Like, it'll just be rough. Those are the things I feel like fundamentally you should just have, you know, like talk it out with your.
And that only matters
partner.
when you're like thinking of someone that you're trying to marry. But if you're just dating for fun, who cares like what they think about politically, right?
Yeah.
Because you're not trying to commit to this person, or you're not thinking about like spending your life with this person.
But
Yeah.
also, like, would we consider that like wasting time?
That's a waste of time. Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's a waste of time.
Okay, Yuli, if let's say your dating profile is out and you had to list qualities of a person, what would that be?
Oh my gosh. How do I
Help a
describe
girl
him?
out. Like let's say I'm
him?
like a, I don't know, what, 18-year-old who is looking for a guy. What should be on my list?
Okay. Oh gosh, that is a
18?
hard question. The biggest thing, like on my list, I will tell that 18-year-old girl, anyone out there watching or whatever, is, or to you or to anyone, is literally, does that person make you better each and every day? Does that person help you become a better version of yourself each and every day?
That's good.
Like, that'll be like my number one thing. And I had to learn that like the hard way throughout my experiences. It's like, no, really take a step back, and is this person really helping you become the woman God wants you to be? Like, that's like the number one thing. And then also obviously like, you know, you want a person who is caring, you know, like all the things, because then like someone can be like, oh, I really do care for you, you know, but no, like actually show those qualities. Like, are you okay? Like, let's talk about it. Like, being very vocal, like
Emotionally
communication.
intelligent.
Yeah, like emotional stability.
Woo!
Like, that's such a big thing too. That's such a big thing too. Like, you want a man, or like, I'm sure you want a woman, someone who's like emotionally like stable enough to know and like communicate those things to you, like how they're feeling.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that comes with experience and time. So an 18-year-old girl, I don't know how emotionally intelligent she's going to be, especially
But
right off the bat.
I guess like
Let's talk about
that'll-
guys though. Y'all are a little behind when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Sorry, I don't
I
want to
agree.
stereotype.
No,
I
I
don't want
agree.
to stereotype, okay? But
I agree.
guys, it's a hard time to deal with their emotions. Let's
Yeah,
be for
but you know
real.
what it is? I
Okay.
think it's because of the
These soy boys, maybe, or these guys that don't
What did you say? What is soy boy?
soy boy.
What
You
is
know what
that?
that is?
no
Beta
idea.
male? Never heard of that? Beta?
What?
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 Beta male?
No.
Oh,
that?
like too cool for school, guys?
No.
Weakness. I mean,
Guys that-
emotions are weakness, guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like, it's controversial. It's gonna be. People are
Okay,
like,
yeah, let's skip
oh,
next.
guys can have feelings too, or guys can be emotional too. Yes, yeah, guys can be vulnerable and all this and that, but guys are like super sensitive and very
Unstable.
not confident, like super sensitive,
Insecure.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be really real. Like 99% of these men are insecure.
Tough.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's women too. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone
has their
Just
insecurities.
everyone.
Okay.
But I
But
mean,
it doesn't mean you are your insecurities.
no, like men
Amen, brother.
are like sensitive to, like very sensitive. Even you can
You're
play.
just dating a sensitive guy.
No, I'll agree. More today's guys are unfortunately more.
Why are you coming for me?
I'm sorry. I love you.
No,
Juan.
yes, like my boyfriend is a sensitive man and he should be, but he's not sensitive where it's like, yeah, no, you need
You need help.
You need help.
Therapy.
You need to
I'm not your therapist.
like, you need some like, help. Yeah, no.
Okay, I'm gonna be straight up. Straighter than straight. Okay, let's be for real. There's a clear verse that says, if you do not know Christ, you do not know love, because Christ is love. Okay?
Okay.
So if you do not know your creator, you do not know how to love. Period.
So you're trying to say love is not going to work if you don't know Jesus.
Yes.
All right.
It's going to be a false love. It's going to be like conditional.
And that's our Christian position.
It's going to be very difficult. Yes. Can it work? Of course. Will it be filled with joy and light and love and peace? I don't know. But also, I'm coming from a Christian perspective. And as a Christian, really, really see if your partner loves God and knows him. Because that's the only way he's able to love you well. Truly. Because I cannot love someone from my own strength. I can't partner up and be there for someone and have mercy for someone if I don't know my creator. It's going to be really hard for me. And I'm going to have a lot of trust issues.
Well, and that's why an atheist and a Christian won't work.
It won't work.
Yeah, it won't work. And I just think, like, going back to that subject of like sensitivity, emotional stability and stuff like that, I feel like because being in love with someone and having that relationship with someone and dating someone and however you want to call it, you have to become vulnerable. Like your relationship with God, if God is what love is and whatever it is, you are vulnerable. Like
that's where I'm like, I don't know. Maybe for girls, yes. No, like for guys, like vulnerable to God, yes. But like being vulnerable to a woman, not so much.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Bro.
Give me your hand. Give me your hand right now.
No.
Okay, I can be vulnerable to my sister.
No, listen.
No.
To my
Listen.
mom,
No.
Listen, you will find.
and even to my wife.
Okay, no.
You have to be vulnerable.
No, listen. Maybe because you haven't like really experienced like that one. But when you do, we're going to be sitting here again or having this conversation again. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like
you're sharing.
I am vulnerable and I'm opening my heart to her and I'm in her.
This is the problem.
When we talk about vulnerability, we don't talk about
weakness?
Emotional. We don't talk about that. We're talking about opening up your heart and saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what makes me upset. This is what makes me happy.
I see that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with the guy, the male perspective. The man is, now this is stereotypical, but we're supposed to be seen like as the strong, right? Like the trunk, the base, foundation, more stoic, more emotionally strong. So not so
weak.
Sensitive,
because being vulnerable is being like you're weak.
It's a masculinity thing.
Yeah,
the masculine is supposed to be a fortress, like protective, so like a shield, where feminine is more open, more receiving, more like sensitive. So yes, obviously guys can be vulnerable and should be open, but when a guy is like super vulnerable and super emotional and like sensitive with the girl, it's been a lot of guys' experience that it turns her off.
Yeah, but you're saying
And that she sees you as a guy that's not gonna, that can't
be able to like,
that can't, not gonna be able to lead. He's not gonna be that strong point because she sees you in your weakness. So a lot of guys are afraid to show that weakness or to be vulnerable because then the girl's gonna lose respect for you.
here's the thing, you're saying super.
You guys, you're a Christian woman, so you see that as a good thing, a guy that's able to have that. But worldly girls, and that's happened with guys, the moment he's vulnerable with her, like he tells her something, she's like, oh, this guy is
really.
This guy's a next.
That
let me
is
go get the bad
sad.
boy.
Oh,
I like the bad
that's
boy.
so bad.
Let me go get the guy who is not crying or so sensitive.
no.
Oh my gosh, you don't even have to cry like to be sensitive. Like that's not what we're saying. Like
No, being vulnerable is a sign of stability.
me. It's
Being vulnerable is a sign of stability, and it leads you to success. It leads you to openness. It leads you to reflection. It leads you to growth. It leads you to progression, you know? Of course, you're not going to be vulnerable to the whole world. That's like, all right, go get a therapist and process your healing, you know? That's not what we're talking about.
Basically, a lot of guys have been stomped on and hearts crushed the moment they're vulnerable with the girl because she's going to take that, see it as weakness, and she's going to lose respect for you.
They found the wrong girl.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry because
I agree. Because a good girl, a Christian wife, she's going to see you and she's not going to like lose respect for you or stop loving you because you're in a moment of vulnerability. And a lot of the times she'll be there for you and she'll support you through that. And that's because she has the love of God in her. It's not a selfish, it's not a worldly, like, oh, he has to be strong all the time, or like, damn, like this guy is.
First of all, I would be so worried if my boyfriend
Never
was
opened up.
always
A wall.
A wall.
Yeah.
Like I need. Like,
you need to be
for
able
me
to be able to see a guy who's gonna be able to like have and show emotion to like kids. Because if you have a guy that's a wall and you want to raise, like, maybe have a family with him, how is he gonna like raise the or show kids that there's like it's okay to like be affectionate?
Yeah, and I just think though that it's like, especially like being Mexican, that culture is like,
Oh, the machismo.
the machismo. Yeah, so it's like very much like how you described it, like that little sense of like, oh, if I cry, I do this or do that. It's like, get over it, get over it. You're a man. Stop that. Get over it. And that's how you grow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like in love, a relationship, it's like if my boyfriend was like a wall to me, even though probably I did something that hurt him and he's just like, or maybe he's really going through something, you know, like a tough time and he's just like a wall, but I know something's wrong. And I'm like, hey, like talk to me about it. I'm fine. Life goes on. Like we're moving on. That just creates a like separation of like, hey, do you trust me? I don't know. Like, let's talk about it. Like, what do you mean? Like,
It's avoidance. It's not healthy.
It's not. And so I really do, like, I'm very strong for communication. Like, being vulnerable is, like, so beautiful in a relationship. Like, it's needed.
No, it's a great thing. I'm just saying that
it's hard for men to open up like that.
Yes, it's harder for guys to open up and to be vulnerable
I still
because it's
struggle
seen
with
as
it.
weakness.
Yeah, I still
It's seen as being weak. And
still struggle with that.
it's just also reality because look at the family. Maybe like for people who have both mom and dad, I'm sure we can all like think of a time where we've seen like mom crying or like she's going through it and like you see that. But how many times have you seen like your dad cry? And that has to do with woman. It's okay for women to be more emotional and more in her feelings, and to like, so it's not as like weird like if you see a girl crying, whereas a guy's crying, you're automatically be like, oh, something happened or something went down.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be more.
That's more in traditional light, though.
Yeah, it's definitely a more traditional thing. So So that's what it has to play with, because you don't always see your dad crying or your dad in his feelings, because he's been told that he's got to be strong.
Yeah.
And that can be toxic, that can be harmful, because then guys become walls. But at the same time, you are the leader, you're the head, so you have to be able to, in hard times, to be able to not let that affect you, and be someone that's going to be able to go forward and not just lament in your feelings.
Yeah. I think for me, honestly, like, just the biggest thing for me is it's okay, like, that you are wired that way, right? Let's just say, or you grew up that way. Like, it's fine. But in a relationship, it's more, for me, it's like, at least communicate to me that you are, like, you're human, right? Like, you're allowed to feel the way you're feeling. Like, if you're going through something, whatever it is, like, I can see that. I will know. So you just admitting it, being aware.
If I trust you and I know you're a ride or die, then I'm going to be open and vulnerable with you. But if I don't know you like that yet, and I don't think you're, and I just don't have that, like, connection with you yet, I'm not going to put down my walls.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, and that comes with building relationships with people, you know. There's a lot of, in the Bible, it talks about being equally yoked.
Huge. And
it's parallel of how we should be equally yoked with Christ, even, which is kind of crazy. And though it can only be done through him. So do you guys know the what is it? Take my yoke is easy, but my burden is light. So take my yoke upon you, or something like that. You guys know that verse?
Yes.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to.
Well, a yoke was basically attaching to what's the animals? Back in the day, to plow. Okay, I'm gonna put up a picture, Carlos. Put up a picture of a yoke with the cows or whatever, the ox, but they would put the yoke on them to equally align them, like this, and together they'll be in sync to carry this big plow, and they'll do acres of land. And the more in sync they were, the more even they were, the faster and the better they'll be able to do things. And these cows and get through it, or these oxen or whatever they used to get through it. And so when Jesus is saying this, he's like, take my yoke upon thee, for my yoke is easy, but my burden is light. So think about it, like, us and Jesus, we're head and head together, right? But he is carrying so much that he picks up that weight. So it's like the baby oxen and the mother or the father oxen, and he's like helping the baby. So he's like pushing them together and pushing them up. So but we're like up to that level, and then we're yeah. Are you searching it up?
Yeah. So great. Yeah, it's 28 to 30, Matthew, chapter 11. So come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Yeah. So it's something that is so beautiful that he's like, he knows, and he's carrying this burden, and he's leading us, he's teaching us, like, we're going through this together, and we're connected. You're abiding in him, and it's so special. But in another passage, it talks about, like, be equally yoked, right? So find someone who's at your level so that you're able to walk this path together.
Yep.
And it's so great, because imagine, like, pulling someone, right? And, like, okay, we all know we can't change anyone. Period.
Yeah.
If you are dating someone because you're looking at their potential, yeah,
don't date potential.
Do not date potential, guys.
Don't date potential.
Because you can't change anyone. You can't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Well, I think it's been a good conversation. We can keep talking about this for
Hours.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just so much, you guys. I just think that you should definitely, whatever season you're in, just
Lean in.
Yeah. Lean in and
Grow
within yourself in that singleness, phase or whatever box you want to put
the
in.
reality is that if you're aware and you know God's best and you know who you are, you value yourself, you're going to desire that.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen, and you're going to sharpen each other.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about iron sharpens iron. That's how we should be in relationships with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes with any relationship. But really lean into mentors to guide you, because it's not easy. Mm-hmm. People hurt people. It's going to be hard.
But also, I just want to say, I know there's a lot of people in this generation that have like commitment issues, or are fearful of heartbreak, or are fearful of, being vulnerable and like opening up to people. But it's a leap of faith. Okay. It's
beautiful.
It's literally a leap of faith. I'm not kidding. Like, love is a leap of faith. And whoever doesn't believe that, we can have a discussion. I'm like so open to hearing other perspectives, but I truly believe in my relationship and who I am now and today. Every day I choose to love this person. I am with this person because, I love them, but also things are not always easy. They're not always rainbow and butterfly. It's obviously, when you deal with someone on a day-to-day basis, or especially like eventually lead to marriage and you're in that, it's like you fight for this person, and it's so, I'm just trying to say that
you have to love the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah. But obviously when you're in that dating, whatever, you're not, we talked about that earlier, but I'm just trying to say that love is a fight, and it's a leap of faith. And if you're in love, just know that you're giving that person the power to like ultimately hurt you, because you're vulnerable. Like you're literally, you have to be vulnerable. Like, you're gonna pretend you're dating, and like this guy, if he, let me go on into that.
No, that's part of trust. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you love that person, like, you're technically like being vulnerable and being in that relationship. That guy can hurt you.
You're trust
it, and as a woman, like, I know how I can hurt him, or I know I could hurt him. Like, if I don't tell him something or share with something, like, it could probably hurt him. Yeah. So it's like, you need to be open to that, knowing that like, he's not a perfect person and I'm not a perfect woman, and I'm bound to fall short, and he is also.
Really lean in.
And it's just like making sure that you ultimately trust this person, and just, I don't know, guys, just, it's a leap of faith.
Look, loving someone, period, doesn't matter if they're dating or not, is hard. It's hard. Know that it's going to be hard. If you're wise enough, choose someone who knows Christ, who's able to love you well. Mm-hmm. And if you think that person is going to be your husband, understand what it looks like to be a wife. Vice versa, husband, understand what it looks like to be husband, and just look up. And it's a journey. And eventually,
Gigi,
come together. Cool. And if it doesn't work, break up. It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world.
If there's clear red flags, do not stay with the person.
Yeah. Don't even get with the person if there's a red flag. So.
We didn't even talk about red flags.
Oh my goodness. There's green, red, yellow.
And those are all subjective, obviously.
There's so many. But really, really lean in. Look for a person who has been in a marriage for a long time. If you're a Christian, look for a Christian healthy marriage and ask them questions, because they'll definitely help you.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you so much.
Leave any questions you guys have down below for us. Thank you for watching. As always, we'll see you in the next one. Subscribe, like, comment, share. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, all that good stuff. So
all the goods. All in the description down below.
Stay connected, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Lel.